When two people engage in a debate, there is an explicit assumption that both parties are open to considering the other person's point of view. After all, what is the point of debating if one side is unwilling to change its position? Unfortunately, some people are so set in their ways that they refuse to even entertain the possibility that they might be wrong. These closed-minded individuals are often tough to debate. They refuse to consider any evidence that contradicts their belief and tends to be dismissive and respectful towards those who hold opposing views. As a result, debating with a closed-minded person can often be frustrating and fruitless. In recent years, the term red pill has become a popular way to refer to men's rights activism and other revolutionary political views. While there's no one-size-fits-all definition of the red pill, it generally encompasses a rejection of feminism and progressive politics, along with the belief that men are oppressed by society. Not surprisingly, red pillers topics are often highly controversial and can be particularly inflammatory when discussed with women. For one thing, red pillers tend to see women as monolithic blocks, ignoring that women can have drastically different experiences and perspectives. Furthermore, many red pillers believe that women are inherently manipulative and untrustworthy, an attitude that is sure to lead to conflict. And in this video, I'm going to enumerate why you shouldn't bother debating with women about this topic. Women are not capable of understanding the red pill. The red pill is a term used to describe the notion that men are oppressed by society. This view is often espoused by men's rights activists and other groups who believe that the government, the media, and the educational system are mistreating men. While it's true that men do face some challenges in society, it's also true that women are not capable of understanding it. To make it clear, I will state William Moberly's definition. He said, "I'll do my best to keep this short, but after reading the nonsense that other people have produced, I feel obligated to write at least so much. For the sake of clarity, let's try this. What are little girls made of? Made of. What are little girls made of? Made of. Sugar and spice and all things nice. That's what little girls are made of. What are little boys made of? Made of. What are little boys made of? Made of. Slugs and snails and puppy dog tails. That's what little boys are made of." If you've taken the red pill, you know that the nursery rhyme and other similar brainwashing teaches boys that they are replaceable and lead men to accept this role as usual. It's not simply the horrible way women treat males. Everything from standing up if there aren't enough chairs for everyone to being expected to let women out of a burning building first and go to war, and being shamed by women if they refuse to go. White feathers, anyone? Is on the shoulders of men. It's all part of a more significant social expectation than they should. You can see this phenomenon in the media, where the loss of women is treated as more tragic than the loss of men, as if men were less valuable. 12 persons killed, 2 of them women. Yet you swallow the red pill. You begin to question things like, why is there such a big deal about rescuing the kidnapped schoolgirls from Boko Haram when the little boys who watched their classmates get shot and carried off to fight are barely mentioned? Why is everyone making such a big deal about bringing the little boys home? Do they feel less threatened now? Did the theft of their innocence make any less of an impact on them? Is there less of a deal to make about them? The general public appears to agree. Society's indifference to its pervasive sexism makes it seem strange when individuals raise questions about it, as some of the other answers here demonstrate. Realizing that women are not all that and males are not less valuable is just taking the red pill and waking up from this historical confidence trick. Saying, "To hell with this" is the next step, and not letting anyone, especially women who believe they have a divine right to define what it is to be a guy, dictate your goals or your definition of success as a man. It's possible to be part of the MGTOW, men going their own way, movement, without bringing up the topic of women, albeit the typical path to the red pill involves a man being treated so poorly by women and a culture that accepts it that he's forced to take it. Since feminism has given males the freedom to view women as they are, since this information can now be easily disseminated and compared over the internet, women are to blame for this. In a nutshell, men realize that modern women have much to improve, and the red pill is the first step in a nationwide outburst of male anger. Women will only try to argue and discredit the red pill. There's no denying that the red pill has profoundly impacted how we think about gender relations. For many, it has opened their eyes to how women are mistreated and disadvantaged in our society. However, some see the red pill as threatening their way of life. These people believe that if men start to see women as equal partners, they will lose their power and privilege. As a result, they often try to discredit and undermine the message. One common tactic is to argue that the red pill is nothing new, that it's just a rehashing of old ideas about feminism. Another is to claim that men who take the red pill are angry at women and that they're not interested in equality. Others argue that the whole concept is just another form of reverse sexism. These arguments might sound persuasive, but they're based on false premises. The fact is, it's something new. It's a radical rethinking of gender relations, and it has the potential to empower both men and women alike. And while some men who take the red pill may be angry at women, that doesn't mean they don't want equality. On the contrary, most men who embrace the red pill do so because they want to create a more equitable world for all. Women have come a long way in the fight for equality, but it's important to remember that men have also been affected by the feminist movement. In recent years, there's been an increase in men speaking out about the pressure they feel to live up to society's expectations. Many men think they are expected to be the breadwinner and the protector and are not allowed to express their emotions. As a result, some men have found themselves feeling trapped and isolated. The feminist movement has brought about positive changes for women, but it's important to remember that it's also impacted men. Once these feminists are bombarded with responsibilities and provisions, most run away. So equality is not just a women's issue. It affects us all. Red pill truths are often too complicated for women to accept. For many young people, these truths can be brutal to take. For girls, the red pill can be a shocking and unwelcome awakening. The pressure to conform to society's unrealistic expectations of women is immense, and the red pill often exposes the ugly truth that these standards are unattainable. In addition, the red pill can reveal the dark side of human nature, exposing the casual sexism and misogyny that still exist in our world. The red pill can be bitter for girls sheltered from these realities. However, it's essential to remember that it's not always harmful. It can also offer a new perspective on life and motivate to change the world for the better. Trying to convince women about the red pill is a waste of time. Men who take the red pill believe that they are oppressed by society and are at a disadvantage compared to women. Often, men who take the red pill are angry and resentful toward women. Others try to convince other men to see the world through their eyes and join them in their fight against feminism. However, it's generally a waste of time trying to convince women about the red pill. Most women don't want to hear about how unfair the world is or how they are being oppressed. They would rather live in a world of ignorance than face reality. In addition, many women are already aware of the inequality between men and women. They don't want to admit it because it's too painful. They want to be dominant. Being at the top can mean different things to different people. For some, it may mean being the best in their field or having the most power or influence. Others may want to be the leader of their own lives, in charge of their destiny. Whatever the definition, people will always want to be at the top, and there's nothing wrong with that. Ambition is a good thing. But what some people forget is that with great power comes great responsibility. When you're at the top, you're responsible for yourself and those who look up to you. You must set a good example and ensure everyone has a fair chance to succeed. And I don't think some of these feminists know how bizarre their ideologies are. They want us to accept it without considering the long-term consequences. Therefore, it's better to focus on convincing men to take the red pill than trying to convince women. Women have an agenda that doesn't involve understanding or accepting the red pill. The term is based on the idea that men have been lied to by the feminist movement and that they need to wake up and see the truth. This view is problematic, as it relies on several false assumptions about gender relations. First, it assumes an inherent conflict between men and women when most people can get along just fine. Second, it takes that men are somehow victimized by feminism when in fact, feminism has fought for the rights of all people, regardless of gender. Finally, it assumes that women have some hidden agenda that they're not sharing with men. This isn't true. Women have their own opinion and perspectives, but they're not trying to keep men in the dark. Many women would be happy to share their thoughts on the red pill with anyone interested in hearing them. The best thing you can do after learning about the red pill is to keep your knowledge to yourself. By nature, the red pill is exclusive and dangerous information. You should not share it lightly or with anyone who would misuse it. Unfortunately, there are some people in the world who would gladly take advantage of other people for their gain. And the last thing you want is to fall into their hands. So keep your red pill knowledge to yourself and only share it with those you trust implicitly. It could be the difference between a life lived in ignorance or blissful awareness. Why do men feel so frustrated? In the next video, we're going to explore the source of men's frustration and how it ties into the growing men going their own way movement.